When you picture a threat to your home, what comes to mind? Probably something dramatic, right? A fire, maybe a big storm. But what if I told you the biggest threat isn't loud at all? What if it's silent, it's slow, and it works completely unseen? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on water intrusion. And trust me, this is way more than just a simple leak. It is a destructive force that can literally dismantle your home from the inside out. So let me just ask you, straight up, what do you think your home's greatest enemy really is? It's a serious question, because the answer, well, it's probably not what you're expecting. You can't see it easily, you definitely can't hear it. Because this enemy, it works in complete silence. It slips right past your defenses and starts this quiet campaign of destruction. And it can go on for months, or, even years before you spot the very first sign of trouble. Okay, let's dive into how this all starts. So how in the world does this silent intruder even get in? I mean, your home is designed to be a fortress against the elements, right? But just like any fortress, it has vulnerabilities, and you better believe water is an expert at exploiting them. The attack can come from literally anywhere. It can come from above, through damaged shingles on your roof. It can seep in through these tiny little gaps around windows where the sealant has failed. Water in the ground can actually push its way through cracks in your foundation, or the whole problem could start from the inside, from a tiny hidden plumbing leak you don't even know exists. The point is, the threat is all around us. Once that water gets inside, that's when the real damage begins. And look, this is not just about a stain on the ceiling. We are talking about a fundamental attack on the very skeleton of your home. It sets off this chain reaction of decay. First up, wood rot. Then it moves on to corroding the metal fasteners that are holding all that wood together. And from there, it can even lead to the foundation of your home actually shifting. It's a total domino effect, where each problem just kicks off the next one. Just look at the difference here. It's pretty stark. Dry wood, it's strong, it's stable, it does its job. But the second it gets saturated with water, its strength absolutely plummets. It gets soft, it swells up, and its ability to carry a load is just gone. It turns from a reliable support into a serious structural liability. And the damage doesn't just stop with the wood. Oh no, the water starts to corrode the metal nails and screws holding your house together. It soaks your insulation, making it sag and basically useless. Your drywall starts to bubble up and eventually just crumbles. And maybe the worst part? It creates these hidden pockets of moisture that get trapped deep inside your walls, continuing the destruction long after you think you've solved the problem. Now, once water has created this damp, dark little paradise inside your walls, it invites an accomplice, a really unwelcome guest that absolutely thrives in the chaos, and that is mold. To really get how mold takes hold, you need to understand this term, the building envelope. The easiest way to think about it is like your home's skin. It's the roof, the walls, the foundation, the whole system that keeps the outside out. So when water gets through that skin, it is a critical failure. And that's because once water is inside that envelope, it finds this perfect, protected little environment. And mold, well, it only needs 3 very simple things to start a full-blown invasion. Here's the recipe. It's terrifyingly simple. First, you need moisture, which, hey, the leak has kindly provided. Second, a food source. And what's your house made of? Wood, paper-faced drywall, insulation. It's all organic material, a feast for mold. And third, you need a trapped environment with no airflow, which is the perfect description of the inside of a wall. The building itself literally provides everything mold needs to flourish. And how fast does this all happen? Way faster than you think. Once those organic materials like wood or drywall get wet, mold can start to colonize in as little as 24 to 48 hours. That is an incredibly short window. The clock starts checking the very second the water gets in. Okay, now this is a really important distinction. Mold itself doesn't eat away at the wood and cause it to collapse. Its role is way more insidious than that. It basically acts like a sponge, just holding moisture right up against the wood surface. This constant dampness is what allows the real wood-destroying fungi, what we call rot, to take over and cause all that structural damage. So you can think of mold as the facilitator, the one who opens the door for the real destruction. All right, so we've seen how the water gets in, how it weakens the structure, and how it invites mold to the party. Let's bring this all together and look at the final, long-term consequences of ignoring this silent intruder. So what's the final verdict? Well, it's not pretty. You're left with a building where the structural integrity is seriously compromised. You are looking at expensive, large-scale reconstruction, not just a few cosmetic repairs. Your property value takes a huge hit, and because of that trapped moisture we talked about, the decay can just keep on going long after you fix that initial leak. You know, this quote really says it all. The moment you notice a musty smell, or a little stain, or some peeling paint, you are not seeing the beginning of a problem. No, you are seeing the final symptom of a problem that has likely been growing hidden from view for a very, very long time. Which really just leaves us with one final critical question, and it's one that might make you look at your own home a little differently. After everything we've just covered, do you really know what's happening inside your walls?